Hello there, my name is Reverend Kimiywe, the Deputy Bishop of Christ's Youngster Ministries, and also serve as the Senior Pastor of CITAM Buruburu. And I'm glad to be with you on this forum. We have been addressing the subject of conflict resolution in marriage, and we have learned so much that comes in and makes couples not to be on the same page, and that brings a lot of conflict in how we relate to one another in marriage. And we were able to see, number one, our differences, just the way we think, the way we have been raised, the way we go about our things could be a point of conflict, but yet could be what can bring in the flavor. You know, God is the matchmaker, and as we said, the opposites normally do attract. So there are things that brought you together right from the word go, that are of different nature, but that is what brought in the flavor and the unity that you had initially. And so you want to celebrate those differences, and you want to use them as a way of flowering and coloring your marriage. They should not be a point of conflict. And then secondly, we also saw the other thing that brings conflict into marriage is just selfishness, you know, just thinking about me, myself, and I. And because of that, we neglect to also think about the other person, you know. And the Bible tells us that, you know, as much as we love ourselves, we should also love other people. And in our loving them, we are able to also know that they need to be taken care of as much as we need to be taken care of. Thirdly, I would like to also suggest one of the other ways we can be able to resolve conflict in marriage is pursuing one another. You see, the moment you stop pursuing each other, that is the moment when you stop having interest in each other. And when you stop having interest in each other, then you also fail to understand what are the needs of your spouse. And when you fail to understand the needs of your spouse, then it is very possible that you'll be projecting your own agenda and your own needs and what you feel should be addressed, unlike what the other person also needs to be addressed in their lives. And so I want to suggest that if you want conflict to be diminished or to be brought to the lowest levels in your marriage, find time to pursue one another. And pursuing here means trying to find out what is happening in my spouse's life. And you know, sometimes people come from work, they're uptight, you know, the boss has been on their case. But because you don't understand their world and you're not ready to get into their world, you assume that they are normal, and therefore you get into some deep discussion and you find that the person is irritant or the person is not ready to listen. And what happens? Conflict, fireworks. And so what we are saying is trying to pursue the other person means finding out what was their world like during the day? How can I help them to be more comfortable in whatever they are doing? And when you pursue your spouse, when you try to find time to understand what they are going through in life, what are some of the challenges they may be having, or what are some of the plans that they may be having, and probably they're even frustrated about them, it helps you to diminish the possibility of this person being irritant and therefore being aggressively defensive whenever you are involved with them in terms of speech, whenever you're trying to discuss even just a simple thing. They erupt up. It's simply because they're already under pressure. Maybe the boss is on their case, or maybe they're running helter-skelter with a particular person in their business, or maybe even could be the child in the home that has been such a, you know, a pain, and the mother probably is all taken up by that. And therefore, even when you come in and you want to have a good conversation, probably her moods are not in the best shape. And so when you pursue one another, it simply means trying to understand the world in which the other person is in. And when you get to understand the world that the other person is in, then you also know how to adjust yourself. Probably you may want to ask, maybe you go out for a walk, and maybe when you go out for the walk, the person will be able to calm down. Or for some of us who are into going into gym, you may think about going to the gym together. Or for some of us, maybe we can watch some program together or whatever other activity. I know some of us probably play games like, chess, or you can play checkers. There's a way in which somehow when you make the other person relaxed, then you can introduce the subject of your discussion. And you'll be very surprised when they have calmed down, when their nerves are cool, you can address yourselves in a positive, in an objective way. And that is the other way in which you can be able to resolve conflict in your marriage. Don't get at each other. Don't always force things must be done now. Why should they be done now? It is until death do you apart. So there is no hurry. You only need to know what is the right time, which is the right location in which I can engage with my spouse. And when you do that, you'll find that your communication lines will be fine-tuned, and you'll find that you are able to support each other emotionally, because sometimes somebody just needs a shoulder to cry on, or just needs somebody who can listen in to what they're saying because of the pressure they may be going through at that particular point in time. And so when you add your pressure on what has already been pressurized, then boom, conflict happens. And so my opinion and my suggestion to us as we tune into this is, let's find time to pursue one another, to understand our spouse before we can get into any deep talking, or we can be able to address certain things that we feel must be addressed. Probably it's just the location or the timing that we need to work on, and things will be fine with us. I hope this is helping you in one way or the other. And if you need to get in touch in terms of any questions or any observations that you have made, or anything that we can be of help to you, even a prayer request, feel free to get in touch with us on Instagram, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and we'll be here for you. God bless you, and I hope that your marriage will be much better than it has been before.